Alright folks, I'm going to review a game based on the arcade series, and that is California Speed. Do you think this port is decent? Let's find out. Here's California Speed for the Nintendo 64. So it's basically a racing game, much like the arcade version, and there are 9 tracks you can choose from, which all of them are located in California. Once you choose the track, you can choose up to 11 vehicles, as located here. Let's see, there's golf cart, convertible, sled, Beja, Sportster. Wait, a golf cart? Yeah, there's a golf cart in this game you can drive on. That's right, there is a golf cart vehicle in this game. I am not joking, this is real. Well, at least I don't have to drive it all the way towards the golf course. Anyway, you can also customize your vehicle, much like in Rush 2. You can even change tires for interesting convenience. Oh yeah, now that's giving your vehicle a makeover. Alright, now that the car color is done, let's start the race. Okay, so this is basically another one of those vehicle racing games. Like, look at this one. I'm driving my car into the grass. Maybe I should have paid attention to the controls, that is. While the concept for the Nintendo 64 version is well done, there is some issues with this game. First off, the turning can get tight at times. Like this one, for example, can get very unresponsive, but not too much. And that sometimes gives you a lower rank if you're not doing very well. But to add an interesting fact, what I noticed is that they somehow made this game using the San Francisco Rush engine. Okay, so let's take a look back at San Francisco Rush. Like, for this game, it is really good. Like, the controls are a little bit responsive, like in the arcade version, and your car can fly when going through other obstacles, like this, and your vehicle can explode when crashing really hard or landing awkwardly. Now, with that crash, it'll look very unresponsive. Like, there's gonna be a lot of crashing. But for California Speed, I think they did an okay job with the Nintendo 64 version. I mean, it's not as great as the arcade version, but still. I mean, it does look a little bit similar to San Francisco Rush, but without the exploding vehicles and doing flips. I mean, your vehicle can fly in some obstacles at least. But this is California Speed, not San Francisco Rush. But to be fair, they did include a few tracks from the arcade version, like the Vortex one, which is in full colors. But this isn't a pinball track, that is. But look at this part. This one looks more like a computer one that is plugged in. So maybe they're driving inside a computer. But anyway, besides that, there's also one where you can ride on a ship, and later the shipyard. And the best yet, a roller coaster, which was also seen in advertisements for the arcade version. I mean, look at this. This looks really fun to ride, isn't it? I wish San Francisco Rush included this level. I mean, it was made by Midway, that is, given the fact both those games were made by the same company. You might also find some vehicles that aren't racing, because crashing into them will cost a lot of time and your position. So if you see any vehicles that are driving backwards, watch out. But there's not a lot to discuss about this one. I think they did an okay job with California Speed for the Nintendo 64 version, but a lot of players prefer San Francisco Rush and its sequel, Rush 2, which both of them came out for the Nintendo 64. And I should have played San Francisco Rush and Rush 2 rather than California Speed, because that one is a lot more extreme than this. While the arcade version to California Speed was great, the N64 version was inferior to that version.
But I recommend San Francisco Rush on the N64 since that one was way cooler than California Speed. But it's your opinion on which version of the game is better. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going back to the arcade place.